This video is about the alpha kissed her once and lost his pack trust forever. If this story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. # the alpha kissed her once and lost his pack trust forever. The moon hung low in the obsidian sky, its silver light spilling over the dense woods of Silvercrest Valley. Its chill danced through the trees, whispering secrets of ancient magic and unfulfilled destinies. Here, in this hidden realm, the werewolves roamed both fierce and fragile, bound by instincts and pack hierarchy. Alda, the proud alpha of the Nightfang pack, stood at the edge of the clearing, his powerful frame silhouetted by the luminous glow above. His heart raced, each thump echoing with the weight of an impending choice. The air was thick with tension, his pack was restless, their loyalty wavering like flickering candlelight. "Alpha, we should leave before the moon rises higher," murmured Kale, his beta, a solid presence at his side. "We can't afford to draw attention to ourselves, not after what happened." Alder's jaw clenched, his thoughts spiraling back to that fateful night, a moment that felt both like an eternity and an instant. It had been a mere kiss, a soft brush of lips that ignited something profound within him. But it was more than just a kiss. It was a betrayal to his pack, a bond shared with someone forbidden. "Ree," he breathed, the name tasting bittersweet on his tongue, a melody of longing and regret. She was an Omega, a vulnerable soul from the rival pack, the Silvermoon clan. Their packs were sworn enemies, a long-standing feud woven into the fabric of their existence, but his heart was blind to the rifts between them. Kale's eyes narrowed, understanding the depths of Alder's turmoil. "You know, they won't accept her. The Silvermoon clan will retaliate if they find out. We can show weakness." Alder turned away, his gaze lingering on the distant peaks, where the mountains met the sky in a jagged embrace. "What if she is my mate? What if this is a part of our destiny?" "A destiny doesn't concern itself with your desires, Alder," Kale replied, his voice low but firm. "You have a duty to your pack. We can lose our standing. They trust you. If they find out, they'll see it as treason." The weight of Kale's words settled heavily on Alder's heart. The Nightfang pack looked to him for guidance, for strength. They saw him as the embodiment of valor, a protector against their enemies. And yet, here he was, caught in a web of yearning that felt insurmountable. That night, under the cloak of darkness, Alder had stolen away to meet Ree. The moonlit glade had been their secret sanctuary, where the world melted away, and unspoken words lingered in the space between them. Their kiss had shattered the boundaries of loyalty, ignited a fire that threatened to consume them both. "Do you feel that?" Ree had whispered, her breath warm against his skin, trembling with a mixture of hope and fear. "It's like the stars are colliding." "I shouldn't be here," Alder had replied, his voice heavy with conflict. Yet he couldn't pull away, drawn to her like a moth to flame. The moment felt sacrosanct and reckless, a defiance of all he had ever known. But that kiss, a tender promise of what could be, had unraveled everything. The next day, the meeting was discovered. The pack elders had gathered, their faces twisted in fury, eyes blazing with disbelief. Alder had faced their wrath alone, the weight of betrayal heavy on his shoulders. An alpha's duty is to protect the pack, not to indulge in weakness. Aldrich, the eldest of the council, had spat, his voice a thunderous growl. "You would jeopardize our safety for a traitor?" Alder had stood resolute, his heart pounding in defiance. "Ree is not a traitor, she is my mate." The word had echoed in the clearing, thickening the air with tension. Gasps rippled through the gathered wolves, a mix of shock and anger. The bond of mates was sacred, but it also marked a rift that could tear them apart. "Enough," Alder had commanded, his voice steady despite the tempest within. "I will not turn my back on her. I will fight for what is rightful love. Let them come for us." The elder's eyes had narrowed in fury, and Alder had felt the trust of his pack crack beneath him like brittle ice. He had lost them that day, lost the bond he had fought so hard to forge. The path of an alpha was one of sacrifice, but this was a wound that would never fully heal. "Alpha," Kale's voice broke through Alder's reverie, pulling him back to the present. "We need to decide what to do. We can't turn back now. If we leave, we risk everything." Alder turned to him, searching for reassurance that eluded him. "What if I went to her? What if I—" "You can if the Silvermoon clan sees you, or if the pack finds out you care for her, it will be war." Kale's voice grew urgent, desperation seeping through. "This is madness." Alder's hands clenched into fists, his frustration boiling over. "Madness or destiny. I refuse to live in fear of what could be. I refuse to let others dictate my heart." Kale's expression softened, a flicker of understanding shining through. "Alder, I understand. But do you truly believe she is worth the risk? You could lose everything, including your life." With a heavy heart, Alder contemplated Kayla's words. Was it worth it? The taste of Ria's kiss lingered on his lips, a haunting reminder of what could have been. His heart ached for her for the chance to fight against fate itself. I have to see her, Alder declared, his voice firm. I can't abandon this, not now, not ever. Kayla sighed deeply, acknowledging the determination in Alder's gaze. Then we go together, but if we are caught, I'll stand by your side, whatever it takes. Hours later, the moon had risen high, casting an ethereal glow over the land as Alder and Kel stealthily made their way into Silvermoon territory. The woods felt alive, the whispers of the trees urging them onward. But as they approached the clearing where Alder had first kissed Ree, a sense of dread tightened in his chest. Do you see anyone? Kale asked, scanning the perimeter. No, Alder replied, his voice barely above a whisper. But she is here, I can feel it. And then he heard a soft, melodic laugh that tugged at his heartstrings. Eyes widening, he turned toward the sound, hope surging through him like a tidal wave. Ree, he called, stepping into the clearing, his heart racing. There she was, standing under the moonlight, her hair shimmering like liquid silver. Ree's laughter faded as her gaze met his, wide-eyed and breathless. Alder, what are you doing here? I had to see you, he breathed, crossing the distance between them. I can't stay away. The tension between them crackled, and for a moment the world around them faded into the background. Ree stepped closer, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. But what about your pack? They'll never accept me. I don't care, he said, his heart pounding with conviction. I'll fight for us, I swear it. But Alder, she began, but he silenced her with a finger pressed to her lips. I've lost my pack's trust, Ree, but I won't lose you. You are my heart. He leaned down, capturing her lips with his, a kiss that felt both like a promise and a plea. It ignited the flames of their bond, the spark of destiny intertwining their fates once more. But as their worlds collided, shadows loomed, ready to unravel everything they dared to hope for. Together, we will defy the odds, he murmured against her lips, breathing in the sweet scent of her yearning. But as the night deepened, so did the darkness lurking just beyond their sanctuary, and neither of them could foresee the storm brewing on the horizon, a storm that could tear them apart forever. The moon illuminated the clearing, casting a soft glow on the entwined figures of Alder and Ree. In that fleeting moment, nothing else mattered. The world outside seemed to fade, leaving only the gravity of their connection. But reality was a relentless tide, and as Alder pulled back, gazing into Ree's shimmering eyes, he felt the weight of their circumstances crash against him like a fierce wave. Ree, he began, his voice steady but filled with urgency, we need to find a way to make this work. You can promise what you don't control, she interrupted, tears glistening in her eyes. I am from Silvermoon. We enemies. You have a pack that relies on you. If they find out... She trailed off, her voice breaking as the fear of the inevitable clawed at her heart. His heart twisted painfully. I'll fight for you, Ree, for us. I'll make them understand. She shook her head, stepping back, the distance between them feeling like a chasm. Do you think love can change centuries of enmity? Your pack will see me as a traitor or weakness. They might even come after me. Alder's fist clenched at his sides, the weight of her words heavy on his chest. Let them come, I won't let anyone hurt you. He took a step forward, desperation clawing at his throat. You are worth more than my title, more than their fear. Ree looked down, her breath hitching. What if they take you from me? What then? Her voice trembled, and Alder could feel her pain radiate like a palpable force between them. I can bear losing you. Alder reached for her, cupping her face in his calloused hands. You won't lose me, I promise. I am not afraid of the consequences. I'd give everything for you. The sincerity in his voice echoed through the clearing, but a shadow loomed behind them, a sense of foreboding that neither could shake. From the tree line, a figure emerged, tall and imposing, the unmistakable silhouette of Eldrick, the elder of the Nightfang Council. And what a foolish promise it is, he growled, his voice laced with malice. An alpha caught in a web of treachery, and willingly, no less. Alder's heart sank. He turned, his chest tightening with dread. Eldrick, he breathed, the name falling from his lips like a curse. What are you doing here? I came to ensure that our pack's honor is upheld, Eldrick replied coldly, his eyes narrowing as he glanced at Ree. You've made a grave mistake, Alpha. The Council will not tolerate this betrayal. You will be stripped of your title. What? Alder's voice rose, fierce as a thunderstorm. You don't understand. Ree is my mate. I won't let you take her from me. Eldrick's face twisted into a sneer. A mate? You dare defile the sacred bond by choosing an omega from our enemy's pack. You are blinded by desire. You are not thinking of your pack, of your duty. Aldo stepped forward, defiance surging through him like a wild river. I am thinking of my heart, of what is right. You think loyalty is blind, but true loyalty is about love, about protecting those we care for. Eldric's eyes fixed to Ree, contempt simmering beneath the surface. You will bring destruction upon us both. This is not just about you. Alder, the Silver Moon clan will retaliate. The Alphas will not stand for this. And I will not stand for your tyranny. Alder shot back. This isn't just about pack loyalty, it is about choosing my own path. The tension in the air thickened, crackling like electricity, and Alder could sense the impending storm. Ria's presence beside him grounded him, yet he could see the fear etched on her face, and it fueled his resolve. I will fight for you, for us, he repeated softly, hoping to soothe her fraying nerves. But Eldric wasn't done. You think you can just waltz away from your responsibilities. You will lose your pack's trust, Alder. You will lose everything you've built. Alder shook his head, refusing to back down. If I have to lose my pack to protect Ree, then so be it. I will find a way to bring peace between our packs. Eldric laughed, a harsh, mocking sound that echoed through the trees. Peace? You think love can bridge centuries of hatred? You are a fool, and your love will be your downfall. Ree stepped forward, her voice trembling but resolute. You don't know what love means, Eldric. It is stronger than hatred. It can change destinies. Eldric's eyes narrowed, his demeanor shifting from mockery to cold calculation. You think this is a game? The Silverman clan will act, you will face their wrath, and you will drag your precious Alpha down with you. With that, he turned on his heel, retreating into the shadows from which he came, leaving an unsettling silence in his wake. Alder felt the air grow heavy, a weight pressing down on his chest. Do you think he'll really tell the others? We asked, her voice barely above a whisper, fear lacing her words. Alder's heart sank, and he nodded grimly. I can let that happen. I won't let anyone hurt you, Ree. I will figure this out, I promise. But doubt flickered in her gaze, and Alder could almost see the shards of hope dimming. What if they don't understand? What if they tear us apart? Then we will fight together, Alder said fiercely, gripping her hands in his. I won't let them choose for us. We make our own destiny, Ree. As the night deepened, they stood together, hearts intertwined by a bond that defied all reason. But with every heartbeat, the shadows of impending danger loomed ever closer. These turned into restless nights, and soon Alder found himself torn between two worlds. The whispers of his pack echoed in his mind, filled with uncertainty and betrayal. Yet every moment spent with reignited a flame within him, one he couldn't extinguish. One evening, as they met in their sacred glade, Ria's expression was pensive, as if she carried the weight of the world on her shoulders. Alder, she began, hesitantly, I've been thinking. What is it? He asked, concerned. What if I left? What if I went back to my pack? It might be the only way to protect you and your pack. His heart dropped, and he stepped closer, urgency flooding his veins. No, Ree, you can't do that. If you leave, it will break me. Tears filled her eyes, glistening like droplets of moonlight. But you don't understand. They'll see you as a traitor. I can't let them hurt you. Alder shook his head fervently. You are not a weakness, Ree. You are my strength. You give me courage to confront this. I don't want to be the reason they turn against you, she replied, her voice breaking. What if they come for me? Alder, I can't risk your life. He closed the distance between them, cupping her face gently, their foreheads resting against each other. We'll all find a way. I refuse to give up on us. You be my mate, and I will move heaven and earth to keep you safe. She sighed, her breath mingling with his, the warmth of their connection grounding them. But I don't want to see you suffer because of me. Then let us face it together, he vowed, his voice steady. We'll all confront your pack. My pack, every wolf who dares to stand in our way. This is our destiny. But as those words left his lips, a distant sound echoed through the woods, a low, rumbling growl that sent chills racing down Alder's spine. In an instant, he was on high alert, instincts kicking in. Ree, stay close to me. The growls grew louder, and out of the shadows emerged a group of Silverman wolves, led by a fierce-looking alpha with eyes like molten gold. Alder recognized him instantly, Cyrus, the alpha of the Silverman clan. With a heart pounding in his chest, Alder stood tall, ready to defend what he loved. Cyrus, he called out, his voice steady. What brings you here? Your betrayal is what brings me here, Cyrus snarled, his eyes narrowing on Ree. You dare to take my Omega? You dare to threaten my pack? Alder stepped in front of Ree protectively. She is not your property, Cyrus. Ree is my mate, and I won't let you hurt her. Cyrus let out a low, menacing laugh. You think you can just walk away from your duty? You think love can shield you from the consequences? Love is stronger than hatred. Alder roared, his wolf pushing against the surface, eager to protect what was. Hash hash hash, the alpha kissed her once and lost his pack as trust forever. Part 3. Alder's heartbeat thundered in his chest, a relentless drum signaling the impending storm. The clearing felt smaller, shadows creeping in as Cyrus's presence loomed over him, heavy with unyielding authority. Rhea clutched Alder's arm, her fingers trembling, and he could feel the anxiety radiating off her, a tangible thread connecting their hearts. Love? Cyrus scoffed, his voice dripping with contempt. You were a fool to think that could save you. You've put your entire pack at risk, then for what? A fleeting moment of passion with a traitor? She is not a traitor. Alder countered, his voice steady yet laced with emotion. Rhea is as much a part of this world as you or I, and I will not stand here and let you insult her. Cyrus' gaze shifted to Rhea, his expression cruel. You think he will protect you? You've left your pack vulnerable, and they will not take it lightly. What would you do for him? Rhea, cast aside your family for a kiss in the moonlight? A whirlpool of emotion surged within Alder. He had never felt such raw anger and protectiveness. You don't know a damn thing about us, he shouted, stepping forward, his wolf instinctively rising to the surface, ready to defend. Yet he felt Rhea's quiet plea in his heart. Stop this! Rhea cried, her voice cutting through the tension like a knife. This isn't what I wanted. I never wanted to bring conflict between our packs. But you did, Cyrus hissed, his voice ice cold. You've drawn an alpha into a web of treachery. You've made him weak. Alder felt the pang of fear clenching his gut. Rhea was right, this was spiraling out of control. Cyrus, listen to me, Alder said, lowering his voice to a more persuasive tone. This doesn't have to escalate. We can find a way to bridge the gap between our packs. Cyrus's lips curled into a smirk, his confidence palpable. Bridge the gap? You think you can negotiate your way out of this? You've already lost your pack's trust. What will they think when they see you here, with her? Alder's heart raced as he saw the flicker of doubt in Rhea's eyes. She was scared, terrified of what this confrontation could bring. I'll face them, Rhea, he promised softly, brushing his thumb against her cheek. Whatever it takes, I'll prove to them that love is worth fighting for. But Rhea's expression remained troubled, and Alder could sense she was wrestling with the weight of their circumstances. But what if they never accept me? She whispered, her voice quivering. What if they see me as the enemy? Then let them see, Alder replied fiercely, his conviction burning brighter. I'll make them see the truth. Our love is not a weakness, it is our strength. Enough of this, Cyrus snarled, stepping closer, and the air crackled with tension. You will pay for your betrayal, Alder. You've gone against the ancient laws that bind our packs. I will not let you drag my clan into this madness. Before Alder could respond, Cyrus lunged, a blur of fur and fury. Instinct kicked in, and Alder shifted into his wolf form, the rush of power igniting his senses. The world transformed to the air thick with the scent of pine and the heartbeat of the earth beneath his paws. With a snarl, Alder collided with Cyrus, the force of the impact reverberating through him. The two alphas grappled, fur flying and teeth bared, a primal dance of dominance and drive. Rhea's frantic yells echoed in the background, a plea for peace amidst the chaos. Stop it, please, she cried, but her words were lost in a storm of growls and snarls. Cyrus broke free, aiming a powerful swipe toward Alder, who dodged, his instincts honed and sharp. They circled one another, the air crackling with tension, each calculated move a testament to their power. Alder knew he had to end this quickly. The longer they fought, the more danger Rhea was in. Cyrus, Alder barked, his voice booming with authority. This isn't just about us, it is about our packs. We cannot let anger dictate our actions. Cyrus's eyes narrowed, a flash of uncertainty crossing his face. You think you can sway me with words? You've lost your pack for her. Alder, you've shown weakness. Alder lunged again, this time catching Cyrus off guard. He brought the larger wolf down, pinning him beneath his weight, his fangs inches from the rival alpha's throat. I may have lost their trust, but I will not lose my mate, he growled, his voice low and fierce. The forest fell silent, the tension thick enough to be cut with a knife. Alder could feel the heartbeat of the land beneath them, the rhythm of nature urging him to find a resolution. This ends now. We can either fight and tear each other apart, or we can unite and find a way forward. Cyrus's eyes flickered with consideration, and Alder sensed a crack forming in the wall of hostility. You think you can bring peace? Cyrus spat, but the fire in his voice had dimmed slightly. I believe in love, Alder replied, his heart pounding as he released Cyrus, stepping back to give him space. If we can find a way to coexist, perhaps our packs can too. This feud has lasted too long, and it is time for it to end. Cyrus rose to his feet, his posture less aggressive but still guarded. The moment hung in the air like a fragile thread, and Alder could see the turmoil within him. "You are willing to risk everything for her," he said, a hint of admiration creeping into his tone. "But what if your pack turns against you?" "I'll face them," Alder affirmed, his voice steady. "But first, I'll protect Bree. My love for her is worth every risk." "Bree?" Cyrus sparked, turning his attention to her, the tension shifting. "Do you truly think you can sway him? You are an Omega visual weakness." "I am not weak," Bree said, stepping forward, her voice steady and unwavering. "I am bound by love, and that makes me stronger than you know." Cyrus' eyes narrowed, but there was a flicker of realization beneath his bravado. "You think this will change anything? Your pack will never accept you." "That is a risk I am willing to take," Bree declared, her gaze locked on to Alder S. "Because love can change hearts and heal old wounds." Cyrus hesitated, the weight of her words settling heavily upon him. "If you are truly willing to face the consequences of your actions, then perhaps I can consider a truce," he said slowly, the air around them shifting. Alder's heart soared, a surge of hope igniting within him. "A truce, we can begin to repair the damage done, bring our packs together." "But it is not that simple," Cyrus replied, his voice steadying. "Trust takes time. Your people will not forgive so easily." "I know," Alder admitted, his shoulders dropping slightly. "But I will fight for that trust. I owe it to my pack, and I owe it to Ree's eyes glistened with unshed tears, and Alder reached for her, their fingers intertwining. Together, they faced Cyrus, a united front against the shadows of enmity. "We will not turn our backs on what we feel. We will forge a new path." Cyrus narrowed his eyes, still wary but slowly relinquishing his aggressive stance. "If you dare to bring your pack here, you will face the consequences, but I will not turn Rhea away yet." Alder let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding, a glimmer of cautious optimism breaking through the tension. "Thank you, Cyrus. We want to let you down." And just like that, a fragile alliance was born amid the remnants of old enmities, the moon casting its silver light over a new chapter forged in love and hope. But as Rhea leaned into Alder's embrace, they both knew the path ahead would be fraught with challenges, betrayal, and heartache. Yet together, they would brave the storm, for love was a force more powerful than any feud, binding them in a tapestry of fates intertwined. As they stood in the clearing, the shadows of distrust began to lift, replaced by the promise of a shared destiny, one that would redefine their worlds forever. With the echoes of their past behind them, Alder vowed to protect what was his at all costs, ready to face the trials ahead, determined to weave a narrative of love amidst the chaos. The wolf within him howled with defiance, and for the first time, they felt the weight of destiny shift in their favor. Hash the alpha kissed her once and lost his pack as trust forever. Part 4. The days that followed melded into a haze of uncertainty, each sunrise a painful reminder of the stakes they faced. Alder and Rhea had managed to establish a tenuous truce with Cyrus, yet an undercurrent of danger thrummed beneath their fragile alliance. The wolves of both packs were restless, whispers of betrayal lingering in the shadows, growing bolder as time wore on. "Do you think they'll ever accept me?" Rhea asked one evening, her voice soft yet heavy with doubt, as they sat by the river under the luminous glow of the moon. The water shimmered like liquid silver, and the air was thick with the scent of wildflowers, but the beauty felt overshadowed by the weight of their situation. Alder turned to her, his heart aching at the uncertainty clouding her gaze. "I believe they can learn to accept you, Rhea. They just need time," he replied, trying to infuse hope into his words. "But you must know that, even if they don't, my love for you will never waver." She leaned her head against his shoulder, the warmth of his presence a balm to her soul. "It feels so simple when you say it, but love can always shield us from the past. Every wolf has a memory of hatred ingrained in them. Can they really change?" Alder's jaw clenched, his resolve hardening. "Change is never easy, but it is possible. We just need to show them that our love is worth fighting for." He paused, searching her eyes. "You are not just an Omega, Rhea. You are my mate. Together, we can forge a new path." Rhea looked up at him, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "You make me feel like I can face anything, Alder, but I am scared. What if the pack finds out before they're ready?" "I'll protect you," he assured her, his voice low and fierce. "No matter what happens, I'll stand by your side. We'll face it together, I promise." He brushed a stray hair behind her ear, his fingers lingering against her skin, igniting a spark between them that felt electric. But as the words hung in the air, doubts began to creep into Alder's mind. The Nightfang pack was on edge, whispers of dissent bubbling beneath the surface. Eldrick had not forgotten their confrontation, and he was a wolf who thrived on distrust. Days later, the tension reached a boiling point. Alder stood before his pack, the weight of their gazes heavy upon him. They had gathered in a large clearing, the moonlight filtering through the branches overhead like shards of glass. It was a meeting called by Eldrick, and Alder felt the air thick with unspoken accusations. Alpha Alder, Eldrick's voice rang out, cold and unyielding. Your recent choices have put us all in jeopardy. You've strayed from the path of duty and honor, leaving our pack vulnerable. His words were a dagger aimed at Alder's heart. Alder stepped forward, steadying his breath. I understand your concerns, Eldrick, but I want to turn my back on love. Re is a silver moon omega. Eldrick interrupted, his voice rising with indignation. You would choose her over your own pack. You jeopardize everything we've rebuilt. You've lost our trust, and you will not lead us into war. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the gathered wolves, and Alder's heart sank. He could feel Ria's presence behind him, the weight of her fear palpable. He turned to her, his gaze softening. I want to let them tear us apart. Huey fighting a losing battle, Alder, Kale, his loyal beta, interjected, voice thick with concern. You have to choose, your love or your pack. You can't have both. Why should I have to choose? Alder shot back, his voice rising, desperation creeping in. Love is more than a bond. It is a force that can change everything. It is worth every risk. But at what cost? Eldrick's voice was low, almost haunting. Your pack will see your betrayal as weakness. They will not follow a leader who has forsaken them. Alder felt a surge of anger but tempered it, remembering the conviction in Ria's eyes. I will not be ashamed of loving her. I refuse to hide what is true. He turned back to the pack. We will not be defined by old grudges. We can find common ground. Alder's words hung in the air, defiance coursing through him. He felt Rhys step closer, her hand brushing against his, grounding him. You have a chance to change the way we see each other, to heal old wounds, she said, her voice trembling but resolute. But it has to start with trust. Eldrick's face twisted in disbelief. Trust? You think your mere words can erase generations of hatred? You are a fool, Alder. Alder clenched his fists, his instincts urging him to defend Rhys. Maybe you don't see it, Eldrick, but I am fighting for everyone. Ria's acceptance could be the bridge to peace. We don't have to live in fear of each other anymore. But the pack stood divided, their eyes filled with confusion and resentment. Alder could feel the crumbling of their bond, and it stung deeper than any physical wound. Eldrick stepped closer, his voice a low growl. You are not an alpha anymore. You are a traitor to your kind, and if you think we will follow you into this madness, you are sorely mistaken. Alder's heart sank as the looming shadows of betrayal darkened the clearing. You can mean that, he said, desperation clawing at his throat. We can work together. We can forge something new. Enough. Eldrick's voice sounded, silencing the dissent. You will stand trial for your betrayal, Alder. The council will decide your fate. The weight of those words crashed down upon Alder like a tidal wave, his heart plummeting into darkness. As they were dismissed, Alder felt Ria's hand tighten around his. What will happen? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper, fear etched into her features. We'll figure it out, he replied, but he could feel the uncertainty creeping in. I want to let them take you from me. Days blurred into nights as Alder awaited the council's decision, each moment stretching like an eternity. Rhys remained steadfast by his side, her presence a constant source of strength. But inside, doubt festered like an unhealed wound. I can bear the thought of losing you, Rhys confessed one night as they sat before a crackling fire, shadows dancing across her face. What if they decide they can trust you anymore? Alder took her hands in his thumb tracing the delicate lines of her palms. I want to let them decide our fate, he vowed, his voice filled with resolve. I'll fight for you, Rhys, no matter the cost. Tears glistened in her eyes. But what if it is not enough? What if they tear us apart? We are stronger than they know, he said, his heart racing with the weight of his promise. Our bond is unbreakable. As the moon rose high in the sky, illuminating the clearing with its silver glow, darkness loomed ever closer. The council gathered at the ancient stone circle, where decisions would be made, and Alder stood at the center, heart pounding like a war drum. Eldrick stepped forward, his eyes cold and calculating. Alder, you stand accused of treachery against your pact. How do you plead? I plead for understanding, Alder replied fiercely, his voice steady. I've chosen love, and I want to back down from it. I ask you to listen. The pack's honor is at stake. Eldrick roared. You've endangered us all. I've shown my pack that love can bridge divides. Alder countered, desperation rising. We can find common ground with the Silvermoon clan. We can heal the rifts between our worlds. Foolishness. Aldrich spat, his fury palpable. You re a disgrace. You've lost the trust of your brothers and sisters. You are no longer fit to lead. Alder felt the weight of betrayal crushing him. I will fight for my pack and I want to allow hatred to dictate our future. But the pack remained silent, uncertainty etched into every face. Then, a voice broke through the tension. Kill stepped forward, eyes filled with a mixture of pain and understanding. Alder has always fought for us. He has never backed down, even in the face of danger, but love can change destinies. The memories rippled through the gathering, hope igniting in Alder's chest. If we can learn to accept each other, we can create a future where both packs coexist. Let us forge a new destiny together, not in hatred, but in love. Aldrich frowned, his authority wavering. And what of the Silvermoon clan? They will not accept this. Then let them come, Alder declared, his heart racing. Let them see that love is stronger than their hatred. We will stand united. The air crackled.